All right, well, good morning, everyone. I am Manuel Bustelo.
And I am Alana Alvarez.
On behalf of DanEurope Sustainable Tour, this is one new stop for us throughout this sustainable tour trip that we are carrying out. We are right now in the outskirts of Copenhagen, beautiful Denmark, with a company that we really appreciate a lot. It is one of the many companies that we are visiting because they are making a difference. During the DanEurope Sustainable Tour, we are addressing the question of how to protect the ocean from land. And when we stop in companies, they have to be working with services or products that are making a difference in order to protect our oceans. And we're right here in the offices of Paralenz. Is this company that over the last years has been creating a big buzz. There's a lot of people talking about the great cameras that they are producing and the great mission that they have behind. So we are really lucky and fortunate to be in the Paralenz headquarters here in Denmark. And we're going to be interviewing the co-founder, one of the co-founders of the company, Martin, that has kindly accepted to give us some time to speak with us about the company and the whole mission behind the camera and the camera itself, of course. So without delaying this any longer, we're gonna now ask Martin to join. As you know, it takes a little bit of time. Thank you all the viewers as well for joining us. So let's see if Martin, there he is. Good morning, Martin.
Yes, I'm on. Hey, hello.
It's good to see you. Can you hear us well?
Yeah, a very bad connection, but it's there.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay, probably there's a little bit of delay, but we can see you and hear you very well as well. So we thank you for giving us time. We're saying, to the viewers that have joined us today, that Alana and I are really happy to be in Paralenz headquarters here in Denmark, in beautiful Denmark. We've been already for 2 months on the road, and we're extremely happy every time that we stop by a company that is giving a product or service that is making a difference in ocean conservation. So we like to pick your brain and have you now live with our viewers and, talk about the company, the reasons behind the company creation and itself, of course. So we'll jump straight into the questions. Before doing that, actually, let people know as well, we see that a lot of people have joined us already, that if you are a viewer of this live feed and you want to ask a question, please try to use a question mark and write the question there so we can show it on the screen. All right, Martin, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Lovely. So you have created a company that is called Paralenz and that produces a great camera behind. And it's got a mission that no other camera company, please show it again. No other camera company has ever that great mission. So what's the mission behind and the whole vision as well of working with this camera?
Yeah, I can start telling you the story from the beginning when we founded the company. Me and the other founders was running a product development company for a couple of years. And Kickstarter just got going, and we really wanted to, why not do it ourselves instead of always helping our customers? And I was a diver and been diving for a couple of years. I could see that at that time, there wasn't really a small pocket camera that was built for diving. There was a lot of cameras you had to put into a housing. And you had, especially here in Denmark, because the water is very cold, so you need to dive with gloves on, and you got a hard time pushing, the buttons. And that's why, and when we come up with the idea for the Paralenz and for the camera and the selector ring system, so you can actually use the camera with gloves on. That was the idea behind the camera in the beginning. And then we start doing development and figured out and talking to different people, and we got this idea of what about if we put in the whole idea actually also from the beginning was if we could make a Google Maps underwater so we can share more pictures underwater, so we can get more divers in the water and more people will start caring about what we actually throw in the water. That was one of the ideas as well, to make a platform for divers around the world. and it will be easy to search for places to go diving. And when we start building the camera, we had this idea of putting in a depth sensor, so it could actually, the camera can measure how deep you are. And in the beginning, the idea for that was to control the color correction. And then we start talking to different people, and we had this idea of what about sharing this data? Because if a normal person or private person start diving with a camera, they actually got pictures and are logging temperature and depth. That would be cool. That's just data, and we have no use for it. So why not share it with people around the world that can actually use it for something? That was the idea of when we started founding Paralenz, and we went on Kickstarter in, I think it was 16, and now we're here with a new product out, and company are growing slowly. We're still a small company compared to some of the big sharks out there. But the whole passion in the company is diving, and it's about diving, yes.
Well, congratulations. As we said before, we're really happy of being here, and all the information you have given, it's really welcome. DanEurope is a foundation that has been providing safety. We work really hard on medical research already over 40 years. We've been present in the market since 1983, and we can now only welcome and companies such as yours and ideas such as yours from scuba divers, by scuba divers, in order to protect the oceans and yet at the same time make diving more fun and make it even more closer to research. Citizen science nowadays is a great thing, and the whole idea you just mentioned is to provide a tool for scuba divers, not only to continue to create great footage and have great memories of their lives, but also now to use the cameras, use the device you create in order to do science, to do citizen science. And what a great idea that has been. So congratulations on that. We're going to go now a little bit deeper into the camera itself. Alana and I, we've been fortunate enough to use the camera. And one thing that we noticed firsthand, actually two things. When we received the camera, so one of them is the packaging.
First of all, it comes in amazing cardboard box package, eco-friendly way of providing the product. So, really good, guys. I'm going to show you.
And that, there's still cameras out there that are being sold wrapped up in plastic, and certainly you are creating a difference already from the time that you put the camera package and send it out to the customer. One more thing that we don't want to damage, actually, the wrapping you have here, but when you guys, we're going to let the people viewing this go out in the shop, and once you purchase the camera and you open this, there's an amazing surprise. There's an amazing surprise behind this packaging that we really loved it. And we actually put it up in the wall in our apartment. We love the photos.
We're not going to say what it is, so people will need to...
They have to buy a product, that's good.
And then the second one, we have plenty of cameras behind here. We're going to talk in a minute about the kiosk that we have. Is that when you use the camera, you realize that you have put a lot of reflection and conscious on the way you produce the product. So you hardly feel any plastic. There's actually almost no plastic at all in the camera. It's all made of metal, which is so important as well in terms of working for ocean preservation. Mainly everything that we bring into the water, scuba divers, is still made out of plastic or products that they come out of oil as a raw material. And it seems that you have put something to that and made a long-lasting product that has as little plastic as possible. Is that right?
Yeah, and aluminum is just more, doable. It would just last a lot longer compared to some kind of plastic products. But the most important is to bring it up again. So for a scuba diver, don't drop whatever you got in the water. Just bring it up. But the whole idea of the camera is also it could last for years and years. That's some of the reasons.
Which is pretty, because when we speak about sustainability, there's a lot of aspects that enter into the concept of being sustainable. And of course, one of them is that to somehow reduce a little bit the consumption. You know, we have entered into an era where every year you have to change the gadget. And sometimes that happens after the gadget is not made to last. While you have put thinking in the Paralenz camera, as you said, to bring it back up, to use it as many times as possible, and to last throughout the year. So the material is very important.
We need more quality and less quantity. So that's really, really good, guys. Congratulations.
That's right. So I hit the nail in the head there. You mentioned it as well with your cameras. You have an automatic color correction. That is so cool. We haven't seen a camera doing that before. So, you know, talk a little bit more about that software that you use and how it came into your mind.
Yeah, it was actually, it's a funny story. We used to work with a small shop here in Denmark, and this guy was just doing production on small parts for us. And he had come up with this idea of why not control the white balance with the depth if you got a depth sensor in the camera. And we started working on it. And to be honest, when we went on Kickstarter, we promised people it would work, but we didn't know. And our team of very skilled programmers did an algorithm and working on that. And we had people around the world, we called them A-testers back then, diving down in different waters with different color plates. And we were assembling all that data. And because of that, we couldn't correct the colors with the depth and the colors in the water. And now we even, on the Vernice camera, we find that. So the old camera, you need to choose what kind of water you were diving in. Now it works automatically, and that's quite cool. So a big applause to our team of coders here in the company. And I think that's one of the big things that the camera is can control the colors by itself.
Indeed. High five to that. Another big thing from the camera, besides that release your work once you are out of the water, you don't need to longer go into the software and correct the color. So again, high five for that. Another great feature of the camera is everything you have put into the thinking of how the camera can help the community for ocean conservation. So there's a GPS there's a depth sensor. There's going to probably be in the future as well a salinity sensor, and we know that you're working on it. So with all that data, you can now come out of the water and upload the information into a huge database that Paralenz is creating. So eventually, we now as scuba divers, we can contribute into not only giving footage of the reef where we're diving anywhere in the world, but also the depth, the water temperature, and you know, in the near the salinity. So what do you want to do with all that data, and how are you transforming that into an ocean conservation concept?
For now, what we've been doing is that every time you turn on the camera, it's because it's a log file in the camera, it starts logging depth and temperature, and when you jump in the water, it will start logging that, and all that data we assemble for now. And what we're going to use it for is we really want to share that with people that can take use of it. And people are different, companies are doing it in a different way. So exactly how, we don't know yet, but we got all the data. And then we have to work with someone and figure out how should we form this to suit you guys. And so, yeah. And the idea is, the more cameras we get in the water, the more data we just collect. And from around the world, there's not a lot of collection of data coast near. Most data is collected far from coast. So now we've got opportunity to get normal divers just jumping in the water and citizen science. That's cool.
Of course. We know that you recently had a partnership with friends of ours that we met recently. That are the people from Healthy Seas
and the Ghost Diving
organization. Yeah. Because they can use the footage you upload with your camera to conseguir las redes.
Yeah, to find out where the nets are.
Where the ghost nets are. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really important. Talk a little bit about that.
And that's that's something we really want to help out. It's also a problem here in Denmark as well. And if a diver got opportunity to mark a ghost net, and you can share that with someone that can go out in a boat and pick it up and get it out of water, because it's dangerous as a diver if you get caught in a ghost net on a night dive or what you're doing. And also it's just keep on fishing, right? So it's keep on catching fish without anyone getting anything out of it. So that's something we really want to get out of the water. So the opportunity and now we got the camera and the GPS locations, that would be a good way to market and share that with the Goat Nest. So that's the idea behind it. Yeah.
Thank you, Martin. We like to remind our viewers that you can ask questions. You can either upload them or write the questions on the comment section, or you can do it by using the question mark at the bottom right-hand side of the screen, so we can share that question with the rest of the viewers. So another of the projects that we came to know, besides working with Ghost Divers Network and Healthy Seas, is also with the Coral Restoration Foundation in Florida. So I just want to mention this one because these are two sort of new partnerships that you are creating, but they are very good examples of what Paralenz camera can achieve all over the world with divers, you know, diving no matter in which location. So with Coral Restoration Foundation, you are indeed, you know, trying to collect all that data of the reef in Florida and then upload that into a database also for future reviews by scientists, marine biologists, and so on, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
So that's a great example of what it can be done as well in areas where indeed you can film the reef and collect data.
That's awesome. As a diver, can help to collect this ocean data by having fun and taking your underwater footage. So it's really great way to put your part for the ocean.
Yes, exactly. That was the idea from the beginning, and we are still following that that mindset. So that's good.
Martin, listeners are very active and very focused because they began asking questions. So we got two very quickly. We're going to go through them in order to honor our viewers. One is asking, are you guys interested in data from Australia, or is mostly European countries that you're looking for data?
We are interested in data from around the world, but right now we are starting with GhostNet and in Florida as well, just to a pilot project so we can control it. We are still a small company, and we don't have that many people here. So we're starting out in the small, and then we're going to build from there, hopefully. That's what we're going to focus on now and figure out how we can and why we should build this and how we should build this sharing data system. Because now it's a lot of data we're collecting, and we need to figure out the best way to share it. Yeah.
Indeed. That's a very good approach. Always start small and take one step after another.
Absolutely.
But thank you very much for people in Australia that
but if you got a camera and you're diving, we will collect data if you said yes, and then we got the data going backward, because data is it's good to have going backward, years backward. Then you can actually see the difference in the water. So that would be nice.
And you know, we love you know, people down under collecting data. The Great Barrier Reef, a place where we have been, we love it. We have our heart there. It is an iconic place in the world that is us reef around the world, some more than others. So why not using the Paralenz camera to start recording and helping out to prevent further damage to the Great Barrier Reef. Thank you, Dan Under. There's another question very quickly as well, this time from a colleague in Norway that says, where can I buy this camera in Norway?
Then you have to talk to the salespeople. You can buy it online. I'm pretty sure about that. For shops, I don't know. To be honest, that's not my. I'm doing development. But go online on our homepage. You can figure that out. I'm for sure about that.
Great.
That's great. Yeah, I'm also sometimes, you know, interested in buying stuff, and I go online. I look at the website, and if I don't find that information, I'm going to just call the company and say, hey, here I am, I want to buy it. Give me some.
Some people can buy the camera, but Paralenz also offers an amazing option for people that maybe cannot or don't want to acquire a camera, and that's the initiative you have of renting cameras. We can see it here.
Yeah.
I want to show what you guys call a kiosk.
Yeah. Or rental stand.
To divers out there. Yeah. Explain us a little bit about that, Martin.
Yeah, but we could see that for us to be able to collect more data, we needed to get more cameras in the water, and I think one of the best ways to, if we could do and get, because snorkelers and tourist divers won't buy a camera for that one trip maybe. So the idea was to do a rental stand, so you can actually rent a camera for a day and jump in the water, or go on a dive with a dive shop, and then you start collecting data as well. So we can get even more cameras in the water and collect more data without people have to go out and buy an expensive camera if they just want to go for a holiday maybe. Or if you're a good diver that dives once or twice a year, only on holidays, you can rent the camera instead of buy a camera. Yeah, that was the idea behind it. And now we are rolling it out in Florida and in Italy. I think you guys got a paper in with fresh numbers from where they are, and we are planning on rolling this out to more countries around the world. But as well as the data before, we're starting in 2 countries to test it, and we are rolling out. I think we got 26 or 30 kiosks in Italy, and kind of the same in Florida. And it's starting, rolling out there. We still hit a little bit by Corona, of course, but it's working, so that's good.
Yes, you say very well. There's about 26 kiosks in Italy, and about the same number in Florida. Unfortunately, Martin, we saw one of them in Italy. We stopped in Portofino. We dove in the marine protected area. That was one of our early stops in the sustainable tour, in DanEurope Sustainable Tour. We stopped by one of your kiosks. We talked with the people that have the kiosk in the dive center. They're really happy, and we have footage about that. We still have to actually show the footage, but we're waiting, strategically to be here first, and then upload the footage to DanEurope Sustainable Tour website.
Yeah, but it's a great initiative because it allows people to get a camera, maybe if they cannot afford it. Yes, or still collect really high quality videos and underwater footage, and also help to collect ocean data. So good job, guys. And for divers out there that if you see this kiosk in your diving center, now you know that you can rent a Paralenz camera there.
Which, by the way, it shows, the vision and mission that you have behind the company, and that you not only speak about it, but you act with words. Because if you were thinking about this as a pure, business product, and then you wouldn't be thinking about, giving the chance of allowing people to rent the camera and to contribute with citizen science in the way that you're doing it. So high five to that. You guys are really doing what you preach, that you say that the mission behind the company. So high five for that.
Good job, guys.
And that's also because of the rental we did the handle grip, and the whole idea behind this is actually to have it ease of use. So you just turn the ring and you point and shoot, and then you're recording. And just to make it so easy for divers not to go into menu, because if you're not a skilled diver, having a camera in your hand, it can take a lot of focus on that instead of focus on what you're actually doing in the water. So we just want to have it easy, just using this point and shoot. And it's really cool to dive with this handle. I really enjoy it myself as well.
Yeah, we're lucky enough to be able to try them, and they're really, really easy to use. I love them. The fact that you can just jump in without no need to put on a housing. You can just grab it. And it's so simple to use, so intuitive.
Right.
It feels like so easy to use. You're right. And you have, yes?
Yeah, because of the ring system, right?
Yeah.
That allows you to select. If you can show the viewers the ring system that allows you to select the mode. There you are.
Yeah, I can see there. So this is the normal camera. So what you're actually doing is when you turn on the camera, you just turn the ring to we call it snap record. And one picture, you just push it once, then you take a picture. If you hold it in, it will record until you release it. Or you can turn it to recording. Just push it once and then it keep on recording. The camera also got a built-in auto record. So if you turn that on, and when you jump in the water past, let's say 2 meters, if you set it to that, then it will start recording by itself. Especially for free diving, you probably don't want to have all the time when you are at the surface. You want to have the time when you're actually diving. So the camera will start itself. You don't need to focus on turning on the camera. Yeah,
correct.
That's also a cool feature. Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, you know, Martin, this is the United Nations World Ocean Decade. So 2030, the United Nations is pushing all sort of kind of initiatives that will help protecting our oceans. So I can, you know, it comes to our mind, Paralenz, the camera that was born with in 2017, already 2016, and that was even before the UN decided to declare this decade the Ocean Decade. So DanEurope welcomes this kind of initiatives. We in DanEurope, as we said before, we care about divers' safety. We've been doing this for 40 years and for the future. Yet at the same time now, we also welcome all kind of initiatives that they also care about the ocean safety. And so we're really, really happy to be here, at least for you to have us here, you know, to allow us to come in the headquarters. And we have that Paralenz camera that you have shown. We can think of, we're not going to get into asking you which are the future products you might have, but how do you want to continue to pursue the vision? How do you want to continue to help divers, you know, to have great memories, and yet at the same time get involved in citizen science?
Some things they will come out is we're working on a macro lens for the camera, so you can click on, and the idea is it's actually a lens and also a mount. So if you got whatever kind of brand lens you want to use instead of the one we're producing, you can screw that on. That's something we're working on for the Vaquita as well. So you can go close-ups if you want to film macro. We are testing.
So cool.
It's not. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We are testing, but it's not sure it will work as we hope. But something we are testing is a cable out feature for Vaquita. That's the whole design for the end cap. You can pull it straight back. So we were able to put a USB cable in when you click it on, and that could be for surface wire or for if you want to link it to your drone or whatever you got. But that's something we are testing a little bit on. But it's not going to be this year. It's probably going to be sometimes next year. But the macro lens is we're working on right now and is in the beginning of the production. So that's exciting. And for the whole database of, we call it the ocean base in our app, it's something we really are putting a lot of funds into and a lot of energy to build that platform. And there's going to be a lot of things coming out the next half year on that platform. We are still working on the connection between the camera and the app to make that a better experience. The issue is when you're recording, let's say half an hour, it's a lot of data, and it's a lot of data to transfer. So we are working on a way to minimize that, and that's the snap record feature as well. So you don't record 1 hour of movie instead of only recording what you actually want to record. That would be still less data, and we're still recording the whole dive as for a log file, but we don't have pictures from the whole file because we can see there's a lot of pictures just filming blue water or nothing, and that's no good for anyone. So, but that platform we are going to do a lot on the app side and the whole platform thing. We're working a lot on that. And make it easier to help out in a local area to share your data to a local, where you are in the world. That's all in the beginning right now. So that's what we're rolling out more and more in the app, on the app side. And the camera will still, there will be updates. We are working on firmware all the time. and bringing new features to the camera. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah,
that once again answered proven the true mission of the company, having firmware to increase the software capabilities of the camera, to come up with products that attach with the camera that your customers already have. That shows your willingness to improve the product, to make it even more versatile, and yet at the same time not pushing people to buy new cameras every year. And I can see Alana macro lens. She's always after the small stuff, the nudie branches often. So I can see her.
I'm so excited. Yeah. I'm so much looking forward to it, Martin.
As well as
cool.
we can see a person called Oli. He says, I have my own Paralenz and I have found some interesting stuff. So we can tell Oli, okay, if you have found interesting stuff, wait until you have the macro lens in your camera as well.
Yeah. And just for you guys out there that got the old Paralenz camera, it's still able to collect data. It doesn't collect the GPS position, but if you go into the app when you upload a dive and you put the location the dive has been taken, then we actually got the data connected to that location. And that's a good reason why to upload it to the ocean base or use the app. Yeah. So the old camera does the same.
Martin, Great, that's great. And for everybody that is out there watching us, Martin, is there a way so they can share the ocean data that they already have? They do it, how can they contribute to it?
As long as they connect the camera to the app, the log file will be uploaded to our server. If they want to share the footage, they need to upload that to the ocean base as it is for now. So you can make a story, and then you can share that with other divers around the world. And the whole idea of the ocean base is to have a place where you can actually search for dives. So if you want to go to the Maldives and you can check out this dive site, how does it actually look? That would be so cool to have a place you can easily, see where you're actually going in what month, for example. But that's not yet, but it's something we're working on. But I want people to upload it, use the app, because then we can get the data. Without the app, doesn't do it by itself.
The Paralenz application to their phones and upload the data.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so, there's so many interesting things going on in Paralenz. We're right now at Paralenz headquarters in Denmark that we love to share all this with you, but things come at the right time. So that means that, Martin, this is not going to be the last time that we're going to interview you, perhaps every other new. So we like to, round up and close up this interview by thanking you for your time and by thanking the entire team on behalf of our team, DanEurope, your team behind the Paralenz development, that you guys are doing a great job. And we'll finish with one last question, unless you, Alana, have any other question. All right, so we always, with Alana, like to finish with one question that is, again, related to ocean sustainability, which is the topic of our tour, DanEurope Sustainable Tour. For the viewers that are not aware of that, you can check it out on www.sustainabletour.eu. And by the way, we also have a blog article about Paralenz there. So we got a lot of young audience, the young boys and girls out there that are learning to scuba dive and that they want to get involved more with ocean. So what would be your tip for the young audiences, those who are they still have to go to university or pursue a career in the dive industry? What would be your tip for them in order to get involved in ocean conservation?
I think that if you're going to university and hopefully, and what you can see in the media now, more and more focus is finally around the ocean. And if you take education, you can always, if you talk about it, if you write about it, if you do an exam about it, you are focusing more and more. People are listening to that we have to take care of the ocean we got. Even with food you're eating, if you're eating fish, there's not sustainable fish. You can change maybe not eating that instead of another fish. And I think that's a good way to go. And you know, if you're looking for a job, you can always look for a job for a company that actually trying to do something, or instead of don't give a shit. Okay, so I can't say that online. But that's important. I think that's very important that young people are moving forward as well to help out, because they are going to be the future here. And yeah, more people talking about it, you better.
You know, if you're doing your open water, advanced or rescue, whichever course you're taking, remember that so far in Italy and in Florida, you already have a kiosk of Paralenz cameras that you can rent. So Martin, with Alana, on behalf of DanEurope, we'd like to thank you very much for your time. Congratulate you for the great job you're doing. We can't just wait to see more of Paralenz products coming up into the market in the near future.
All right, cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming by. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.